Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about whether Putin is a rational actor. There's a lot here. Let's break it out, okay? So, first of all, I won't bury the lead. Yes, Putin is absolutely a rational actor, and it's very important to say this out loud because we have a bad trend happening, right? So, first of all, let's not pretend, right? When a lot of news people are saying, "Is he a rational actor?" What they're really saying is, and they say, no, I don't think he's a rational actor, which there are people starting to say this or even questioning whether he's a rational actor, puts his sanity at question. And what they're really saying, the subtext is, he's crazy, right? Now, I'm going to tell you right now, just gotta show your bias, right? Like when you have conversations, if you got a bias and you know it, I am allergic to the word crazy, right? And it is an offshoot of being a public speaker. I'm a public speaker. I speak all the time. I speak every single day publicly. And trust me, when you publicly speak, when you've done thousands of videos publicly and you publicly speak on a lot of topics that are very sensitive, right? One, you learn what you can and you can't say, right? And then also you learn that you have to listen. There's a whole bunch of things you learn, right? And I'll tell you right now. Oh, and the other thing is you learn that you are going to get every name in the book thrown at you, right? So I've been doing this a long time. The words "you're wrong" just roll off my back like water off of a duck's back. I don't even hear it anymore, right? And the reason why is like I literally hear that daily, right? Like, so, and that's just you being on the internet. And I will tell you right now, somebody's wrong on the internet is definitely a thing. And I do it too, right? If I hear some commentator and they're clearly wrong, I will jump on it, right? Like, especially if it's an interesting topic. So I'm in that boat too. So, and honestly, I will tell you, if you say I'm wrong and there's no name calling in it, there's no ad hominem, have at it, man. Like that's totally your right. There's no problem, right? I got no problem with that. You're stupid. I hear that all the time, right? Like, and that one doesn't bother me in the least. Have at it. And the reason why is I know it's objectively wrong. I got a master's degree. I'm not stupid. Right? Like, I don't need you to tell, I don't need anybody to tell me I'm not stupid. I'm definitely not stupid. I got a thick vocabulary, right? And I'm not stupid. I know that for a fact, right? I don't need but the one that I don't like to hear is "you're crazy," right? Questioning somebody's mental, and here's the issue. Here's what I hate about hearing "you're crazy." I hear it from people who if somebody says "you're crazy," that's the last video I'm listening of yours. Okay, I get that one. I understand it. I'm not crazy. I know that for a fact, right? And but I don't like hearing it. I do not like hearing somebody question my mental sanity. It is my mental stability. It's the one thing on the internet that I hate the most. And I'll tell you right now, I do not react well to it, right? And it's a cut, right? Like it's a slice, right? You're going right at somebody's heart when you pull that out, right? And here's the issue, right? I wouldn't have no problem with somebody saying, "Whew, your stuff is crazy. Bye. That's the last video I'm hearing from you, nutball," right? Like I would get that, right? But I don't like people saying "you're crazy" and them saying this after they listened for 100 videos and they're still there 3 days later, right? And the reason why is that then it's disingenuous, right? If you're listening to a crazy person and you're interacting with them, right, and just egging the whole thing on, that's not cool. That is, that either means that you are playing with somebody who you believe is mentally unstable, right, and interacting with them in a way that is encouraging them. That is not, if somebody's mentally unstable, you should absolutely not engage with their public content. You should tell them, "Hey, I'm disengaging with your public content and you should go get help," right? But if you continue to gauge, what you're really doing is saying, "I want to take the luxury to insult your mental stability, but I want to, but then I just want to, watch the train wreck," right? And that's not cool, man. If you genuinely think that somebody's mentally unstable, you should not be throwing gas on their fire, on their personal fire, right? Like that is, and that's one of the reasons why. And I've seen that tons of times. People are like, "Oh, you're crazy," and then next day they'll put 3 paragraphs of content on, 3 paragraphs engaging with you, and you're like, "Wait a second, if you really thought that, then what you're doing is incredibly cruel," right? And so I'm really allergic to this. So I'll tell you right now, this you're not going to hear me say many things good about Putin, but here's why I think it is very, very disingenuous and incredibly wrong to say that Putin is not a rational actor. One, he just gave a speech. He gave a gigantic speech, huge speech in front of like hundreds of thousands of people in a gigantic stadium. His speech was perfect, right? He spoke without using note cards. He was 100% on point, right? Like everything he said was super evil and super wrong, right? But he's clearly not crazy. He's not crazy, right? He's mentally stable, okay? So why are people saying he's not a rational actor? Well, we have an incredibly, incredibly destructive habit growing in America, right? Oh, you're saying something I don't like or I disagree with? You're crazy. You're not a rational actor. I question your mental stability. You need to go get help, right? All these kind of things, that is a bad, bad trend, right? Debate team energy is a thing, right? Debate is healthy for the world. Free speech is healthy for the world. What is not healthy is say, oh, you have an opinion I don't like. You have an opinion I don't understand. You have an opinion I don't agree with. You're crazy. Or saying it nicer than that, but you're saying you're crazy. That is there you go. That is a outlandishly, right, dangerous, outlandishly dangerous pattern. It has to end. Now, I hear you're like, wait a second, Scott. It really looks like a lot of things he's doing are not rational. I don't know if you're paying attention. Invading Ukraine was incredibly rational from Vladimir Putin's perspective, right? And he's a villain, right? Like that's super clear now. Like I don't know if anybody's even debating that anymore, right? So basically he's evil aligned, right? Like this is just this is 100% rational for his worldview. So one, I don't think he's a Christian. He does use Christian imagery and he does talk a lot about Christianity. But when you're not Christian, you know where you're going, right? Like you ain't gonna be in the cool place, right? Like you ain't gonna be stringing harps on a cloud, right? So if you got 75 years and then you're nowhere, or you got 75 years and you have an eternity in the hot place, well, it suddenly becomes very rational to do whatever you can do to make your life extremely good and make your legacy last a super long time, right? That is rational, right? If you only got 75 on this years on this earth, why be good? Doesn't make any rational sense to me. Now, if you have an answer to that, I'd love to hear it, right? Because I really don't. Yeah, so I don't know. People who are not planning to go to heaven. Well, actually, I don't obey to go to heaven. I obey because out of a thankfulness to Jesus Christ for giving me eternal salvation and much more than I'm commanded to in the Bible. That's a very real thing, right? The other thing is the reason why it's incredibly rational for Vladimir Putin to have invaded Ukraine is he already did this. This ain't his first rodeo. If he already knows, just wait for a dove president and go get your land. That's how it works. It's not irrational. It's not like some crazy plan. It already worked once with Crimea. He's not doing some outlandish scheme that has a long shot of working. He thought this was going to be a layup. And the reason why is he thought Biden was a weaker president than Obama. The only thing he didn't plan for, and he wasn't wrong, the only thing he didn't plan for was he didn't plan for Volodymyr Zelensky, who rallied his entire country and made sure that he couldn't do anything. That's my opinion. All right, I'm fairly strong on it, but I'd love to hear you tell me if I'm wrong on any of this. He is a rational actor, right? He's coming from a different perspective than the people who are trying to say he's not a rational actor. But I'm going to try to sell you all on this. You hear somebody saying something you don't like. You hear somebody saying something you disagree with. You hear somebody saying something that you think is wrong. That doesn't mean they're crazy, and that doesn't give you the right to question their rationality. All right. That's my opinion. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.